Today, we're going to completely reframe something we all think we understand, and that is practice. Look, most of us view it as this boring chore, right? It's just something to rush through so we can get to the good stuff. But today, we're totally shifting that perspective. We're going to look at practice not just as some repetitive physical action, but as the absolute ultimate identity shaping force. It's honestly the hidden psychological engine behind every real success. So, why do talented people often fail? It's kind of a paradox, isn't it? We see it all the time. Those naturally gifted people, the ones who learn faster or just seem to have this innate, effortless ability, they just suddenly stop improving. Meanwhile, seemingly average individuals put their heads down and eventually surpass them entirely. It completely shatters that myth we're sold from a young age. The one about innate talent being the ultimate golden ticket. We often picture the path to mastery as this super exciting, fast-paced thing. We think it's going to be constantly entertaining, kind of like a fun training montage from a movie. But the reality, well, it's quite different. Real practice is quiet. It is uncomfortable. And yeah, let's be honest, it is often incredibly boring. It's the same routine, the same effort, the exact same slow progress. But here's the psychological secret. That boring, repetitive stage is exactly where ordinary people quit and where serious people actually grow. Practice just isn't meant to entertain you. It's meant to train you. Think about two runners for a second. The naturally fast runner relies entirely on their gift. Because things come so easy to them, they haven't actually built the mental resilience to push through discomfort. So they get comfortable and they stop pushing themselves. But the average disciplined runner, they're out there training every single day. They're improving their breathing, their stamina, their speed. Talent might get you a fantastic head start. It might literally open that very first door and begin the race. But daily practice builds the mental and physical endurance that actually finishes it. Talent without practice stays totally incomplete. Now, let's talk about confidence, because we seriously need to redefine what that word actually means. Confidence is not some magical, fearless feeling you're supposed to just have before you start. So many of us wait to feel confident before we even begin. But real confidence is a quiet inner trust. It's built through undeniable proof and repeated experience. Your brain literally needs hard evidence, and every single time you practice, you are giving your mind the neurological proof it needs to say, hey, I've done this before, I survived, and I can definitely do it again. Let's look at how this actually works with something most of us are terrified of: public speaking. The very first time you step on stage, your hands are freezing and your voice is super shaky. The fear is massive because the situation is entirely unfamiliar to your brain's threat detection center. But by repeatedly meeting that fear, the stage and the audience actually become familiar. Avoidance makes fear grow, but exposure makes fear shrink. You don't become brave by avoiding the thing that scares you. You become brave by meeting it repeatedly until you literally become bigger than the fear itself. And look, we really have to stop beating ourselves up when we mess up. Seriously, mistakes are not failure. Mistakes are feedback. Think about a chef learning a brand new recipe. If they add too much salt the first time, they don't just throw away their entire culinary career in despair. They just gained a really vital piece of information. Next time, use less salt. Without mistakes, your practice actually has no direction. The mistake simply shows you where your focus is currently missing, so you can calibrate and improve on your next attempt. So what happens when we apply that feedback over and over again? Well, we get this incredibly powerful result. Repetition turns conscious effort into natural ability. Remember when you first learned to drive? Man, it was completely overwhelming. You had to consciously think about the steering wheel, the brakes, the mirrors, the road signs. It felt so stressful. But through patient, focused repetition, your brain actually rewired itself. Your body remembered the movements. Those overwhelming conscious steps slowly became entirely automatic. And that is the true neuroplastic power of repetition. So, how should we actually structure this repetition? Well, you've got to watch out for the trap of what we can call big, rare practice. This is when you wait for the perfect mood or the perfect day, and you practice for 5 hours straight, and then you do absolutely nothing for a week. The result is super inconsistent and weak progress because the brain doesn't get the steady reinforcement it craves. Contrast that with small, daily practice, just 10 minutes a day, every single day. It's like watering a houseplant, right? If you flood a plant once a month, it dies. But a little bit of water every single day creates compounding, healthy growth. The small daily rhythm is exactly what builds real, lasting strength. But here's the catch. To actually see that compounding growth, you have got to be patient. Think about the totally fascinating growth cycle of the bamboo tree. For the first 4 years, the bamboo tree grows entirely underground. From the outside, it looks like absolutely nothing is happening. All the growth is invisible root development. Then, in year 5, massive, visible growth just explodes above the soil. When you're practicing, your foundation is being built just like those roots. Just because the progress is invisible today doesn't mean the foundation isn't growing. You have to respect the quiet process. And this brings us to probably the most profound part of this whole explainer. Practice literally changes who you are. It starts as a simple action, just that small daily effort we just talked about. Then, by showing up regularly, it evolves into a habit. But finally, kind of like a potter slowly and carefully shaping clay, that consistent action forges a brand new identity. You are literally shaping your future self with every single repetition, proving to your brain that you are the type of person who shows up. When you're just dreaming, your internal narrative is pretty passive, right? It's just, I want to become. But when you actually put in the work, when you practice quietly every single day, your internal narrative shifts to I am becoming. Practice stops being just a task on your to-do list. It starts giving you real self-respect. It gives you undeniable, concrete proof that you are someone who actually works for your dreams, rather than just passively wishing for them to magically appear out of thin air. Ultimately, you do not become what you wish for, you become what you practice. Wishes are easy. Words are super easy. Anyone can say they want success, or a better life, or to learn some complex new skill. But quiet, daily, sometimes totally boring practice, that is honest, because your practice reveals to you and to the world exactly how serious you truly are about your own life and your own potential. Man, what a powerful way to look at our daily habits, right? Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. If you found this reframing of practice helpful, please go ahead and subscribe to our channel so we can keep bringing you these deep dives. And hey, share this with someone you know who is actively building their future. Help them see that their invisible, boring days of practice are actually their greatest strength. So I'm going to leave you with this. What is the one small, boring action you are going to practice today to prove to yourself who you're becoming? Catch you next time.